There's me. Few minutes to go.
You're right. You're right.
Anywhere you like. And a chair would be good. That would be great. It's just like being in a dinner theater. Is this your first time with us?
My neighbor turned me on just last night, so that's why I'm here.
Where you all live? Right here?
I live in Largo, she lives in Seminole.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
We're gonna start having meetings in Seminole in August. Well, you know, we'll be at Freedom Square. They call it, ask me to start doing them there. So then I'll be doing 2 meetings on Wednesday. I'll be a rep.
Well, keep you young.
Jury's still out on that one. Might be a little late.
Yeah.
So this is a regular monthly meeting.
Yeah, and basically, just gonna present all the tours we've got coming up, show you pictures of places we're going, kind of give you the inside baseball, you know, what's going on in each trip. Gives you a chance to ask questions.
It's the same company.
Yeah, wood travel is fun.
I got this one.
You do it right.
You guys go out of the country?
Canada. We have a guy in the office who does airlines and cruises. He does the overseas travel. Possibly moving the office to a different section of the shopping center, so clean out 40 years worth of garbage from the office. Have a nice clean and big. Yeah, we're around the corner. The inkling is they're gonna tear that section down. You can, man. Now, this is actually the oldest shopping center in the city. I think it was 1955. It's been here a long time. When I was a kid, my favorite hobby shop was a couple doors down over there. I actually won 2 prizes in a contest they had there for my models.
What was the store called?
Micro World, I think they called it. It would have been late 70s. Yeah, late 70s. Because One of my models is a Star Wars X-Wing.
That's cool. Still have it?
Now, it got destroyed. I have kids. Everything just got destroyed. And the other one was in the scratch building category. I took a helicopter model and a couple other model kits, built them into a spaceship, my own design, using parts from a bunch of kits.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you an engineer?
I was a combat engineer in the Army,
You are?
so not building stuff as much as blowing it up. Those two need to be watched.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got about 2.5 minutes till I start.
Anyway, he told Mike that there was no single Mike ready to move over here, doesn't have that long process.
Oh, you're-
That's my back, Sean. If you don't mind us turning the chair.
Let me know if you can. We can slide it over there.
No, we can slide it. Slide it this way.
Well, then we got this.
Yeah, you can still see the screen.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. Here, here.
Nancy said her and Bonnie used to come to these all the time. But Bonnie goes up north for 3 months.
You ready?
We're ready.
Hello, folks at home. We'll be starting in just 1 minute. You're my studio audience. So when I put up the applause sign or the laughter sign, you guys have to help me out.
Can you turn that around? We go.
I've been known to do that. Okay, music's off.
Turn your phone on.
I almost,
Like they tell you in church. Turn your phone on.
10 seconds.
and I just would.
Okay, are we ready to start, guys?
Yes.
Mickey says it's 1:30, so it's time to start. Hello, folks at home. We're on camera today, so some people might be watching at home on YouTube live. So if you can't make it, you can always pick this up if your life is that empty that you have to watch me on TV, or your cable plan is that bad. Anyway, welcome to Travel is Fun Tours Travel Club. And why isn't my remote working? Oh dear. Okay, we're going to do it by hand then. Welcome to Travel is Fun Tours. I'm Todd Kennedy, and I'm going to take you on a tour through all the trips we have coming up. We are a family-owned small business, and my dad and my sister work with me in our little office around the corner. We might actually be moving out of that office and around to this side, but we'll keep you informed on that. If you go over there and you notice our end of the building's been torn down, just look over here by Lorraine's. That's where we're planning to move to for right now. For those of you who've been following my dad, he's been having some health problems. He was in having a surgery today, and he's out, and he's in recovery, and he's looking good. So those of you who are giving us thoughts and prayers, hopefully we'll have Dad back on the bus before too much longer. And you guys can help me fatten him up. He hasn't been eating good enough. We'll take him to some buffets. Being small and family-owned, this is our family's entire business. This is all we do. So we are responsive to your needs. If you're not happy, I am definitely not happy, because I want you to go home and be so deliriously happy your neighbors think you're mentally ill and want to know what's wrong with you. And you tell them, I went on a Travel is Fun Tours, and it was so much fun, I can't stop smiling. We are fully licensed and insured, and that is an important thing. Those of us who survived COVID and made it through this, there's a lot of businesses that didn't. Some businesses I know that do the kind of things we do folded in the first month. Some of them didn't make it a week. And part of that is how you handle the finances of your business. We keep a good reserve on finances. At any given time, we'll have a credit log. If we cancel tours and we give you a credit, any given time, there might be $15,000 to $20,000 we owe you guys for credits for canceled tours. And I keep very careful track of that, and we keep that money in the bank. We don't pay that to ourselves until the trip has been delivered and you've gotten everything you asked for. At that point, we pay ourselves. There are other companies that see how fat that bank account gets and start paying themselves. And the trouble they get into is when they hit hard times, all of a sudden, they've spent all the money that they need to run the trip coming up next week, and they need more money to come in to pay to send you on your trip. If suddenly the faucet gets turned off, they don't have any money to deliver what they promised you because they've already spent that money. We never do that. We have over 40 years of experience. About 30 of that is right here in Tyrone Gardens. Before that, we were in downtown St. Pete, across from Williams Park. I actually drove by there 3 times last week. I was doing a step-on guide job for the Vietnam Helicopter Pilots Association. And I did the same tour 3 days in a row, so I was kind of a robot by the end of the 3rd day. And I had the exact same lunch 3 days in a row. Which I love Doc Ford's, but 3 days of the same burger, it was a bit much. We use up-to-date modern motor coaches. We currently work with a great company called Mart's First Class. They've got very nice coaches. They are Wi-Fi equipped. Now, a word about Wi-Fi on a bus. It's not great. It's the same as on an airplane. It's not fantastic. It was much better at the beginning when only 2 or 3 of you on the bus had a device that was trying to use that Wi-Fi. But now about 80% of you on the bus are trying to drink out of the same faucet, and that Wi-Fi just doesn't have the power to keep up with all of you. One thing I always do when I'm on trips, my phone is set for unlimited data, and I just run off my data. The other thing that people misunderstand about Wi-Fi on a bus is if we're in a very remote area where there's not a ton of cell towers and your phone is having trouble getting service, that's the same place that the bus's Wi-Fi is getting service from too, through those phone towers. So if your phone can't work, the bus isn't going to deliver a lot of Wi-Fi either. But they're good coaches, and we got great drivers. See, there's one right now. We do 10 to 15 day trips a month, and that's what this white sheet is all about. If you don't have one, before you're done today, make sure you've got one. The front of it lists all of the day trips. The back has some more day trips and a listing for each of our overnight tours that are coming up. And we're going to review all of those as we go through the meeting. We do anywhere from 25 to 30 2-night and longer trips, usually a couple a month. We've got a bunch of those coming up. You can see the ones on pastels here. Those are our in-house tours that we developed from top to bottom. If it's on this full color brochure, that comes from a company called Diamond Tours. And we work with them on some tours too, especially when we can get them to deliver us a really good price on the tour. Because they're a big national company. They got a little more horsepower than we do to get great hotel prices and attraction prices. We do have a travel club available. Now, those of you who are new, I see some new faces in here, you don't have to join our travel club. It is fully optional. That's why it's big letters there, optional. It started years ago. It was one of our main ways to communicate with our customers. We had a monthly mailing that would go out. So all these flyers come to you in an envelope. To make it an incentive for you to be in the travel club, we gave you $2 off each trip you take, and you get a nice name tag with your name on it. You don't have to be Mabel. If you want to be Mabel, you can. Again, it's not necessary. Anybody can go on the trips. The only real difference is if you're in the travel club, you get a mailing and you get $2 off the trips you're going on. The reason I stress that is a year or two ago, somebody came in and said, I'd really like to go on your tours, but my friend told me you have to be in this travel club and it costs $200 to join every year and you don't ever get that back. And so somebody was spreading stories about our travel club. So I make sure it's as clear as it could possibly be. Now, one other thing about the travel club too, before I get too far down the road, everything that we mail out is available on our website. So the travel club will probably disappear one day as more and more people are on the internet. If you're good on the internet, then you probably don't really need the travel club. You can go to the website anytime you want, smartphone, computer at home, library, computer, anywhere. Bottom line with Travel is Fun Tours, we're always going to be friendly to you and courteous and make sure you have a good day. We're very informative. Talking about that helicopter pilots group I took out last week, I gave them a combination tour. They got murals, history, and movie locations for St. Petersburg. So I took 3 of my most intense tours and jammed them into one big tour. And just the history tour, when we were doing the homework on that, we came up with over 300 different data points and locations in the city to tell you kind of the history of St. Petersburg. I think I wove it into a pretty good story for them. They seem to like it. But we're very informative. I like to tell people if I worked this hard in school, I'd have had straight A's. We try to keep you comfortable. Now, I told you about the Wi-Fi on the bus. One of the other things on the bus, it's got exactly one thermostat. So about half of you will be too hot. About half of you will be too cold. There's going to be 2 or 3 of you who say, this is just right, just like Goldilocks. So what I always recommend is dress lightly for the bus. And if you're one of those folks who gets cold in the movie theater, bring a jacket or a blanket or a towel and something to help keep yourself warm if you're under one of those vents and it's too cold for you. Most of all, we want you to have fun. We do all of this homework. We spend hours in the office getting these trips put together. So all you have to do is pack your bag, show up, and we're going to get off and have a great time. The other best part of travel is fun. The fun part is look around you. These are kind of my hardcore travelers mostly in here. And we have probably the best feature we've got is all of you guys because, well, everybody gets on the bus. In general, everybody gets along pretty good. We're kind of like a family. We have some days where we're not getting along with each other as good as we would like. But at the end of the tour, everybody is still friends and wants to see each other again. Now we're going to do something real fun. This is the Where in the World contest. I am going to show you a picture of someplace Travel is Fun is going to go. The winner gets $25 off their next trip. It is not a place we have gone before. It's going to be a new place, but we are going there. Best answer is going to win the prize. So the more you know about this picture, put down all the information you've got because that's how I break ties. I have a lot of hurt feelings because people say I had the right answer, but somebody else had a better right answer than you did. So your extra words count. No phone a friend or smartphones to use and 1 win per calendar year. And does everybody have a little yellow slip? I don't think you girls do. Always come around and make sure you got an answer sheet. Carl, how on earth did you get in here without a yellow slip?
I have one.
Okay.
I got one.
They don't, not giving me any time for anything.
No, I have an extra one.
Where in the world? They mark
And
it
you
down.
know.
Oh, we're gonna have to do remedial training on YouTube.
Where in the world?
These two
I'm in
know
Miranda.
better and they messed it up.
Good. We're good.
All right, I'll figure it out.
You're welcome.
Everybody else-
All right, everybody got a slip. Make sure your name's on there, because if nobody gets the right answer, we'll do a drawing and somebody still wins, okay? All right, here comes your clue, and I think this is a tricky one, although Lori got it.
Where in the world are
I don't
Where
know.
could that be?
Where in the world? I don't remember. Yeah.
It's a bizarre one.
Starship Enterprise.
we?
You're not supposed to yell out the answer, because if you yell out the answer, the whole room has it, right?
And then it's just fall.
You're supposed to write it down on the slip.
I have a
Okay, that would be good. There you go. Okay,
You get a clue
all right,
if this is local.
moving right along.
Is this local or far away? Do we get a-
Is it local? It is out of the state of Florida. I'll give you that much. All right.
It is local?
It is not local,
Oh.
but some of you are loco. All right, so,
How long this is
yeah.
bad?
so here's the rest of the month of June, if you're ready. This Sunday, we're going to St. Armand Circle. They're having a craft show on the sidewalks. They'll have some sales going on. There's some beautiful shops there. There's a Sperry Topsider store there. I might get some new shoes. There's great restaurants. There's a Columbia restaurant there. There is a Tommy Bahamas. One of my favorites is the Blue Dolphin. It's a little family diner. It's not a real big place, but good food, good prices. Interesting thing in the middle of the circle is they've got monuments to all the circus families. So if you go in the middle of the circle and walk around, you can get a good history lesson on all the circus families. Lido Beach is right there. Sad to break it to you, it's not a nude beach anymore, but you can walk to it from there.
I'm not going there.
Oh,
Most of us.
Carl, you are setting me up. I'm trying so hard to be good. If you see the little red light, that means the trip has been canceled. We didn't have enough folks. And June was kind of a hard month. The Publix Aprons Cooking School has been canceled, so if you were on that, again, we would put your money in credit log, or you get a refund, whatever you prefer. My lunch bunch going to the Floridan Hotel next week is on a wait list. That son of a gun is filled up, which is great. I'm happy with that. And I'm happy for you if you're on there. If you're not on there, join the wait list. We did have to cancel the Brighton Casino on June 18th. That was a casino trip we had coming up to see Caladiums and go out to Lake Placid. They got murals out there. We do have another casino trip coming up. So if you were counting on Brighton Casino, you might want to look at Immokalee, and I think it's in August. The Empress Tea Room, you notice the yellow light there. That tells you that it's kind of teetering on the edge. If everybody pays and goes, that I have signed up on the list right now, it would go. I have exactly enough. But if I go with exactly enough and the bus runs over an hour, I lose money. So I need a few for a cushion there. So if any of you would like to go to a tea room, Saturday, June 18th, we're going to the Empress Tea Room. It's a very nice tea room. They'll feed you well. You won't go away hungry, and they'll do a nice tea service. And we would love to have you join us on it. If not, that one will probably be canceled by tomorrow morning if I don't get any more. Medieval Times is a green light. That's doing real well. That's over in Kissimmee. It's an indoor air-conditioned attraction, and it's one of the only horse attractions that's still around. We used to have Arabian Nights. That closed years and years ago. Dolly Parton's attraction over there is gone. So they have nights, they have jousting, they have sword fights, they have falconry, there's music, there's comedy, great food. It is an evening performance, so the bar is open. You can get beer, wine, and other adult libations to enjoy while you're watching the jousting going on. That's June 21st. And then June 30th, I've got Marina Jacks, and both of those are in great shape. They're green lit, but they both have some space left, so you haven't missed out on your chance to go. So jumping into July, we're going to kick July off. First thing in July is we're going on July 3rd to 8th to Cherokee, North Carolina. It's a beautiful little area, and we're going to see some wildlife out there. There's a lot we're going to do. Pointed out on the slide there, we got the Smoky Mountains Railroad. We're going to have some people doing whitewater while we're doing the railroad. So my wife Wendy and a couple of the passengers are going in one of those rubber rafts, just like that. So you can sit on the train and watch them, or you could join them if you're a little crazy. We're going to go. You're going to get a chance to set foot on the Appalachian Trail because it goes right where we're going. My favorite T-shirt for the Appalachian Trail, it says in real big letters, "I hiked the entire Appalachian Trail," and they stuck the word "width" in there real tiny. So it actually says, "I hiked the entire width of the," and the Appalachian Trail is about this wide everywhere. Some places it's like that. Let's see, what else we're going to do? We're going to go to the Mountain Farm Museum. We're going to see Unto These Hills, which is a performance about the history of the Cherokee people. We're going to do that on the 4th of July. And as we're coming out of the amphitheater for that, 4th of July fireworks are going to be going off. So we should be able to see them all over the town as we're driving back to our hotel that night. Let's see, we're going to visit the Koala Arts Co-op, the Oconaluftee Farm Mountain Museum where that farm was. We're going to go to Mingus Mill, which is a nice walk in the shady woods. A lot of great stuff. We got 2 nights at Drury Inns too on the way up and back. We try to use Drury Inns every chance we get. They have a great breakfast. They have their 5:30 kickback, which when you get your room key, you get a coupon for 3 adult beverages, and they have food out, so you can have your dinner right there at the Drury, which most people do. Let's see. If you don't go with me to Cherokee, I haven't forgotten you guys. We're going to take you up to Clearwater, put you on the Calypso Queen, and go out for their fireworks cruise for the evening. And that's going to include beer, wine, sangria, and a 4-course meal. And you're going to be on a beautiful little paddle boat like that, cruising around looking for the best fireworks. Kind of the nice thing about it, if you pull up and there's kind of lousy fireworks here, they'll just kick that paddle wheel going and go find better fireworks somewhere else to watch. So that'll be a very nice evening. That one is selling real well. We've got probably 15 seats left on that. So get on board while you can. July 11th on Monday, we're going to do the Tampa Bay History Center over in Tampa. And it's a beautiful history center. It's got a great exhibit about pirates and treasure. My favorite exhibit is they've got a great big electronic table with maps of Tampa. And you can scroll through and make the map depict different years. So you can go from Tampa in the early 1800s all the way to the present day and see how Tampa has changed and grown by looking at that map. I could spend hours just looking at that thing. For your lunch, there is a Columbia Cafe there, so you can get some good Columbia food. July 14th, we're doing Capone's. That is Capone's Speakeasy. That's over in Kissimmee, and it's supposed to be reminiscent of going into a speakeasy in the 1930s. So there's lots of fedoras and girls in flapper dresses and gangsters and detectives. When you get there, they're going to sneak you in the back door of the ice cream shop. And then you're going to have beer, wine, sangria, anything you want. They've got a very nice Italian-American buffet and a great comedy musical variety show on the stage, which I've seen it enough times. I've got most of the songs memorized, but I'd still go again. It's a lot of fun. July 15th, we're going to the Penny Lane Beatles Museum. That's up in Dunedin, and it's in a kind of a shopping complex. It is upstairs, and it's not a great big museum, so you'll have some time for shopping, getting some lunch, and enjoying one of the biggest collections of Beatle memorabilia and actual authentic items from the Beatles. There are some costume pieces, musical instruments that actually belong to the Beatles there. So if you're a Beatles fan, go check this one out. July 20th, this is our only dinner theater experience for the month of July. We're going to have The Wizard of Oz. It's down at the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater. And you can see the seating there. It's a very nice open dinner theater. Beautiful stage. Real great food on the buffet. Two dessert tables. One is like ice cream and cookies and other odds and ends. The other one is like pies and cakes and chocolate mousse and all kinds of other goodies. And of course, you're going to get to see the Wizard of Oz. Yes, ma'am.
Is that also the same day as our next lunch meeting?
Unfortunately, yes, it is. I had to move the travel club meeting because I'm not going to be in town the week before. I will be hiking the Appalachian Trail with crying, sniveling scouts. 50 miles in a week. I'll probably be crying and sniveling too.
Better get those new shoes.
Oh, these are not my hiking shoes, I guarantee you.
Where do you start at?
For our hike on the trail, we're going to start at Fontana Dam and go north into the Smoky Mountain National Park, assuming I can get reservations at the campsites. If not, we will start at Fontana Dam and probably go south, where I don't need reservations for the campsites. So fingers crossed. I got to be up at midnight like I'm ordering Rolling Stones tickets to get those campsites. Anyway, Wizard of Oz, you guys all know the story. Dorothy lands in Oz. The house crushes the Wicked Witch of the East, and the Wicked Witch of the West, her sister, comes after Dorothy. I saw a really good synopsis of the movie. Kansas girl lands in foreign land and murders the first person she sees, joins up with strangers to kill again. So if you're into that. July 21st, we're going to go to Linger Lodge for our lunch bunch. Been waiting 2.5 years for them to reopen after COVID. It is finally here. I got the menu all picked out. We're going to be taking those menu choices next week. I'll give you a preview. Yes, frog legs are on the menu. There will be shrimp scampi. There's going to be fried haddock. There's a chicken Caesar salad. There's some other goodies and a couple of choices of desserts. It's a beautiful little place right on the river. So nice scenery out the back window and great place. It's kind of unique. The way it used to be decorated was done all with taxidermy. They had jackalopes and other bizarre mythical creatures in the cases. I'm not sure how much of that has survived the redesign. We'll find out. Anyway, that's Lunch Bunch at Linger Lodge. And the other thing about Lunch Bunch is, what do we do at Lunch Bunch?
We celebrate birthdays.
We celebrate birthdays and anniversaries and any other dumb things we can think of to celebrate. This month will be nice at the Floridan because I've got 6 of you having birthdays. Last month, I was the only one having a birthday. It was very lonely. July 23rd, we got a little 2-day trip. We're going to go over to Titusville, and we're going to start the day out. The first day, we're going to head to a nice restaurant called Fish Lips. Lunch on your own. Wasn't that good?
I like that.
That was a great place. After lunch at Fish Lips, we're going to go over to the Air Force Base next to the Kennedy Space Center, and they have a small museum there. We're going to have an hour or two to explore that museum. Then we got to go get checked in the hotel to get ready for our luau. We're going to go to a nice ranch out near Orlando that has a fantastic luau, and they're going to greet you with the lei. They'll have the roast pig. There's going to be a bar available, and plenty of dancing. Should be a great time. Then we're going to get you tucked into bed and get you up early the next morning so we can go over to the Kennedy Space Center and give you a full day at the Space Center. We're going to be there from opening till closing all the time we possibly can to explore the Shuttle Atlantis, the Saturn V exhibit. They've got, there's a Space Shuttle Experience ride where you sit in the cargo bay of the Space Shuttle when it takes you up to orbit, and the cargo bay doors open and you get to see the Earth over your head. They've got a new Exploring the Galaxy exhibit. There's going to be a ton of fantastic stuff going on. So that's kind of it. That's 2 quick days. We're going to have a great time, and I will be your host on that. And if you didn't know, I'm a huge space nerd, so I'll be filling you in on everything I can. July 26th, we've got the Showman's Museum. That's over near Riverview, and it's a museum dedicated to traveling shows and circus exhibits and things like that. The guy's got a great big warehouse full of rides and costumes and memorabilia. He does the tour himself. So when we get there, you'll get to meet the owner, and he'll show you through his collection. We're also going to do lunch on your own at a place called Jerry's Bar and Grill. And they were featured about a week and a half ago on the show Bar Rescue. They used to be known under a different name, so they should be fantastic now, because I've usually seen a pretty good improvement in those places on Bar Rescue. July 28th, 8th, we're going to go up towards Clearwater and go to Orange County Choppers. And they're going to give you a little bit of a history lesson about Harley-Davidson motorcycles. And they have a museum there you can explore and a nice restaurant. And that'll be lunch on your own at that one. And then wrapping up the month of July. Hold on, here she comes. There's Wendy. Wendy's going to do her Florida architecture tour for you. She's been doing a lot of homework to get ready for this. We're going to take you. She changed her mind. We're going to go to a Portillo's in Tampa instead because she's decided she likes the architecture tour in Tampa better. So she may make this up the day before the tour. I don't know. But those of you who've been out on a bus with Wendy know it's going to be an adventure no matter what she does. And that'll be lunch on your own at Portillo's. Okay, so those of you who love doggies, who likes doggies? Everybody loves a good doggie. So this one's called Who's a Good Boy?
That's a good boy.
The chicken is saying, my children have too many legs, but they are handsome and strong.
That's a good boy.
Those are good boys. Okay, now this one personally gets to me. It says, when you've been barking at the mailman for 900 days straight, and he finally barks back at you. Now, if you've ever been out in public with me and a dog has gone by, I bark at every dog I see. And I got to tell you, Sarah, you do that too? We'll have to have a bark off and see who's better. I didn't know you spoke dog. I'm pretty good at sounding like a dog. Because my favorite thing is when the dog is going by and I bark at it and he starts looking around for the other dog and there's not another dog in sight. There's nothing better than a confused dog. That's usually the look I get. I am very mean. Oh, when your best pal calls you a good boy. Who's a good boy?
That's a good boy.
This one's just for Barbara. The fabled Doxysaurus. I expect to see a picture of your dogs like this very soon.
Did we jump ahead?
We're going to do August next. Yeah. And me checking outside to make sure I still hate the general public. I can relate to that a lot of days. That is a grumpy looking dog. Now this one's bizarre. I don't know if you've used the phone camera on your phone. There's a panorama feature, so you can like stand there and go like this and get a big wide shot. But if you screw it up, you get distorted monstrosities like that probably will give me nightmares for weeks to come. So don't use the panoramic function to take a picture of your dog. And this is a good boy. It's Miller. He went on a diet. There's his before and after. So I don't know if they have a diet program for dogs, but Miller could be in it. Miller's looking good, aren't you? Okay, jumping into August. We're going to kick August off with, I heard some of you guys talking about this one earlier. We're going to go to the Tampa Theater. It's one of my favorite places in Tampa. It goes back to 1927. It's a very old-fashioned theater. That's the lobby there. It looks like a little Spanish village. The ceilings are made up to look like it's kind of an early evening night sky. You can see that in the theater there too. I've been in there for a few things. I got to see, anybody ever hear of a movie called Health?
No.
Okay, you guys are good movie buffs. It was made back in around 1980 by a director named Robert Altman. What's important about it is it was filmed at the Don Cesar. The other important thing is my mom and my grandma and my grandpa went out there to be extras. The other interesting thing about it is the movie was so bad, the studio never released it. The only chance you have to see it is if you can hunt down a DVD of it, or if you're up at 3 a.m, there are some stations that are so desperate for programming. I have actually seen this on TV in the middle of the night. But it had a great cast. It starred Carol Burnett, Glenda Jackson, James Garner, a lot of other really great actors and actresses. Anyway, Robert Altman showed the movie there back in the 80s when he couldn't show it anywhere else. I got to take my kids there to see the re-release of Raiders of the Lost Ark when they were 10 and 11. And There was nothing like seeing that movie on that big screen. They're going to give us a tour of the place. They'll show you the dressing rooms for performers that go on the stage. The Wurlitzer is going to come up out of the stage, and they'll show that to you. And they'll tell you a little bit about the history of the place and the ghosts and all that stuff. And then we're going to have lunch on your own is at Sam and Eddie's New York Pizza just around the corner. And they are famous because it is real New York pizza made with real New York water since 1998. So hopefully they've got new water since 1998, but my sister says it's really, really good. She's been there. August 6th, we're going to go to Fisherman's Village Tiki Fest. That's down in Punta Gorda. It's a beautiful little shopping center. There's an aerial view of it. So it's covered, and but it's not enclosed, so it's not air conditioned inside. So we'll go early in the day. It does get warm, but of course all the shops are air conditioned to about 40 degrees. So you can go in there and chill out. Some very nice restaurants there. They have live entertainment. They'll have arts and crafts and things in the walkways. There is a nice boat ride you can take. And we're going to schedule this to make sure that you can go out on the boat if you want to. And that'll be lunch on your own there. There's Wendy again. Look at her. Spinning around. She wants to take you shopping to Orlando in August. So we're going to go to a couple of great places. We're going to go to Mall at Millennia. That's an enclosed air-conditioned mall. Very nice place. And then they've got outlets there. There are the outlets on International Drive. So you're going to get 2 shopping destinations for the price of 1 on that. August 11th, we're going to do another tea room, the Lavender and Lace Tea Room. And that one is in Lake Alfred. It's nice country. It's kind of hilly out there, so it's a good chance to get out of St. Pete and get out of the flatland. And again, one of the things they check with every tea room we're going to do is, are my people going to come home hungry? Because the first tea room we did, they came home hungry and they were begging to stop at McDonald's. So I learned that lesson quickly. August 13th, we're going to go see Michael Bublé. He's going to be at Amalie Arena. You might get a little sticker shock on the ticket. It's $219, but they are very good seats. They are lower level, 100 level seats. So you'll be able to see the show pretty well from there. You'll definitely hear it. And he is he sold out tours all through 2021, which was not an easy thing to do with COVID going on. He's been through 25 countries worldwide. He did 61, again, sold out U.S. shows. And he's got a collective audience of over 800,000 fans, it says. And he's been in the top 10 on Billboard pretty consistently throughout his career. So the nice thing is we're going to take you right up to the theater. You hop off the bus, go right in, get to your seat, enjoy the show, and we'll pick you up right at the end of the show, same spot. So no worrying about driving over the bridges or trying to find the theater or parking in Tampa. You don't worry about any of that. We got that all covered for you. We're going to leave on Sunday, August 14th, to see one of my favorite towns, Helen and Dahlonega, Georgia. Helen is a little alpine-looking town. Looks like that. They've got tubing there, so we're making sure there's time in the schedule. If you want to go tubing in the river and cool off, that mountain water will be down around 60 degrees. So you'll definitely cool off if you go for a dip. It's got 9 meals included. We're going to feed you the whole time on the tour. You got 2 nights at the Helen Holiday Inn Express, 2 Drury nights on this one. We're going to go to Smith House. I've been there many times. It's served family style, and it's a beautiful little inn just outside Dahlonega. It's a chance to get out of Florida and get out of the heat and enjoy the mountain temperatures. It's not going to be 70 degrees, but it ain't going to be 105 either. We're going to go to the Gold Rush Museum in Dahlonega. And if you didn't know, Dahlonega has gold mines right there. There was a big gold rush in Georgia in the early 1800s. And when they built the state capitol in Atlanta, they wanted a gold dome. And that gold for the dome came from the mines in Dahlonega. So when you drive through Atlanta and you look at that dome, you know where the gold came from. August 18th, Lunch Munch, we're going to go up to Dade City and enjoy lunch on Limoges. And it's a beautiful little restaurant. We usually do that when we're going to Giraffe Ranch, but we're just going to give you time in Dade City, do a little shopping and lunch, and enjoy some birthdays. Go to the Stage West Playhouse after a nice dinner on your own at Golden Corral, and they're going to have an evening performance of Alter Eagles, and that is one of the best Eagles covers bands in the country. We were pulling them up, some of their performances on YouTube in the office the other day, and you would swear you're listening to the album, and it's not even a cover band. They're that good. August 20th, we're going to do Mission Inn and the Lake Ridge Winery. So there'll be a lunch at the beautiful Mission Inn in their gorgeous dining room. They'll serve you a great lunch. And then we're going to go over to Lake Ridge Winery where they'll have some live music out on the lawn. They'll have a winery tour and tasting. And they'll have, if you're still hungry, they'll have food trucks and snacks and beer and wine and everything. You can want there. August 27th, now for those of you who are sad we're not going to Brighton, we're going to do the Immokalee weekend. That's the 27th and 28th. We're going to have one night at the brand new Fort Myers Holiday Inn Express Airport. Our visits to the Seminole Immokalee Casino. And we're spreading that out a little bit. A lot of times we do that as 4 hours. You're going to have dinner and shopping available at the Miramar Outlets on Saturday night. And they've got great restaurants and gambling and everything at the casino. So we'll have good breakfasts at the hotel and meals at the casino and Miramar Outlets. A little bit of shopping. Just kind of a nice getaway weekend. Now you can see why I picked Who's a Good Boy for my theme this month. We're going to go back to Southeast Guide Dogs, and this time we're going to pair it up with lunch on your own at Metro Diner. If you haven't been to a Metro Diner, my suggestion, my favorite meal there is their chicken and waffles, because their fried chicken will just make you want to cry. It's so good. They marinate it for 48 hours, so it's so juicy, and the waffles are served with homemade strawberry infused butter. Now, the one thing you got to watch, I'm a little bit of a sissy. They do a thing where they put hot sauce in the syrup. Now, if you're into that, more power to you. I got to stop them before they get there with the hot sauce because I'm a crybaby. We're going to start the day off with a visit to Southeast Guide Dogs. They're going to do their Into the Darkness presentation, and you'll get to meet a couple guide dogs. And I was told there will be some puppies there that are allowed to be patted and handled and loved on. There's a point where the puppies kind of graduate and they have to start becoming service dogs, and they don't get to be loved on and cuddled by the public anymore. But these guys will be before that date. So we got in trouble last time because a couple folks were playing with the dogs that they weren't supposed to be. So I got a call. So some more of Who's a Good Boy. I've never seen anyone so excited for it to rain. He's got his raincoat, came in the mail. Look how happy he is. Barbara would do that to her dogs.
Yeah, my dog has one.
Does he?
He hates to rain.
When my dog's tennis ball rolls under the couch, I'm trying to find it. Probably my favorite Christmas present I ever got anybody was my dog Angus, because he loved chasing tennis balls. So one year for Christmas, I got him 3 cans of brand new tennis balls, and I threw them all down the hall at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
And he would go down the hall, he would pick up a ball and start to carry it back, and then the other balls would distract him. It took him an hour and a half to get all the balls to the other end of the house. Poor confused dog. He's pretty popular with the chicks. Oh.
Study hall.
It says, I don't know what they're learning, but they're trying their best. And this one's handwriting is probably still better than mine. Now, if you can't read it, when you begin to realize you might have adopted a polar bear and not a dog. That is a lot of dog. Barbara, you got any idea what that monstrosity is?
Yeah.
Pyrenees?
Yeah.
Describe your ideal work environment. I could get behind that.
The dog is.
Are we asking the dog? or the person?
I tried to dig up his bone, but he wouldn't let me. Look at that face. No. Okay, finally, jumping into September. We're going to start September off. Going to the Columbia in Ybor City. We'll do a little bit of a tour. We're going to have a half an hour of flamenco dancers, And this won't be an evening performance. This is going to be a daytime, matinee, lunchtime performance. So we won't have to be out after dark for that one. But the flamenco dancers are going to put on a great show for you. And you'll have a really nice buffet lunch set up with boliche and chicken and yellow rice and other goodies. September 3rd, we're going to go see, who is this guy?
Oh, right.
Old Rod Stewart. This time he's touring with Cheap Trick, and he's going to be at Amalie Arena. Now, you notice the price on that says to be determined. I've been trying to beat the seating out of Amalie Arena and get that locked in. As of 12 o'clock today, I still didn't have it, so that's why it says to be determined. Just to give you a heads up, depending on which tickets he gets me, the price will either be $139 or $189.
Cheaper than we play.
Yeah,
More
bargain
excited.
next to Michael Bublé. But Rod's a little older, too.
So he
He's
puts on a
been
good
marked
show.
down a few times.
He puts on a good show.
It's all fair.
Okay, so with that jacket, does he kind of look like a leprechaun? I didn't notice that till right now. You should start saying something about his Lucky Charms. Okay, who wants to go shopping with Wendy again? There she is bouncing. Here, I'll do this again for you in case you missed it. There she comes. She's going to take you shopping at a brand new place in Wesley Chapel called Crate. Crate. It's got about 30 restaurants. It's built in converted shipping containers up there.
Yeah.
So they've got stores, restaurants, arts and crafts, live entertainment a lot of the time. And that's going to be your shopping with Wendy for September. Should be a lot of fun. September 7th, I got a good deal on tickets out here, so I passed that on to you guys. We're going to go over to International Drive and go to the Icon Center where they have the wheel. And it's a really cool ride. It's a 450-foot Ferris wheel. The cars are enclosed and air conditioned. When you get to the top, if it's a clear day, you can see all the way to the vehicle assembly building at the Space Center. And you can probably see the outline of Tampa looking the other way. Your ticket's also going to include Madame Tussauds Wax Museum and the aquarium they have out there. So you have a lot to see and do. We budgeted to keep the bus out there for a good long while, give you plenty of time. And I'm excited. There's one new restaurant there that I really want to try. Gordon Ramsay has opened up a fish and chips shop. And one of his dishes is you can get fried shrimp and lobster. And I looked up the prices. It was about $20 for that plate. That's not too bad for some lobster.
Yeah.
And the reviews I saw said it was really, really good. And maybe you'll hear Gordon Ramsay call somebody a donkey. So you got to watch these shows. September 10th, we're going to go back to Broadway Palm and see their show Through the Decades. This is going to be a variety show with all kinds of different musicals they've done through the years. So they'll have a little bit of, Singing in the Rain and Hello, Dolly, maybe something from Little Shop of Horrors, something from Cabaret. And so you'll get a whole variety of great songs and performances, along with the usual fantastic lunch and dessert. And then on top of that, they have a nice cash bar, so you can get some adult beverages. If nothing else, it makes it sound better if I'm sitting next to you and singing along.
Yeah.
September 13th, we're going to give you a day at the Florida Aquarium over in Tampa. We'll take you over to the cruise port area, and you can enjoy the day at the Tampa Aquarium. Admission is included, if you want, at the $69 price. If you just want to go over and hang out at the cruise port and ride the trolley back and forth and check out the area, without the aquarium, it's $44. So you can do that either way. And it's a beautiful aquarium. One of my favorite memories with our scouts is I've done an overnight there a few times, where you actually sleep in the room with the big aquarium wall. And it's like the most soothing thing in the world to sleep with turtles and fishes swimming in front of you all night. It even put the kids to sleep. It was a miracle. September 15th, we're going to go up to Brooksville for lunch bunch from Mally Kyla's restaurant, and that's Mally Kyla's Cafe. It's in a very old house. I think the house was built like late 1800s, and so it's kind of small. It's a little tight in there, but when we get a full bus, we can do it. And one of the menu choices I'm excited about, they have a fantastic meatloaf. So we're going to have meatloaf. We're going to have good desserts and just a really nice time. They got a whole gift shop and flower shop in there too. And Ollie's coming around. She's collecting your slips. So if you have your little yellow slip ready, if you want to pass that to her. And she's also collecting receipts. If you bought your lunch, we do a drawing every third month for $25. So if you had lunch with the folks here, I'll put your name on there and make sure Ollie gets that. September 16th, we're going to go to Van Wezel Hall down in Sarasota, what's exciting about Van Wezel, I don't know if you knew, but it was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright's family's architecture firm, as was Ruth Eckerd Hall. And one of the things you can recognize, I didn't know till I did a recent tour, was one of the things I'm not fond of at Ruth Eckerd Hall is there are no aisles up the center. The seats go all the way across. So if you have a center seat, you got to cross in front of like 60 laps before you get to your seat.
I don't know why.
But that was a Frank Lloyd Wright thing. Anyway, this will be outdoors. They're going to have a reggae festival with a great little band called Ya Movement. They'll have food trucks. They'll have a bar outside. And you can just go enjoy some music and entertainment. September 21st, we're going to do Marina Jacks again, since the end of this month is almost sold out. And that's a beautiful little trip on Sarasota Bay. And that's the Marina Jack 2 right there. As you can see, it's an enclosed boat. So if it's a hot day or the weather's not too great, you're fine inside. If it's a nice day, you can go out on deck and get a breath of fresh air. The food's really good. The water's beautiful and blue. The architecture around you is kind of a Mediterranean architecture. You'll probably see some dolphins as you're cruising around if you're looking outside. And it's just a really, really beautiful day. And then finally, we're going to go to fall foliage in Vermont. And Ollie's got all the slips. So we're going to see so many great things on this tour. I can't even begin to tell you. We're going to 10 meals included. It's an 11-day tour. I'm sorry, 18 meals included. I can't do math. And that slide's been like that for months, and none of you guys caught it. You got 4 nights in Vermont on this trip. We're going to have a maple farm tour. We're going to go to Ben & Jerry's. We're not going to do the actual factory tour there because they've shut down their factory tours because of COVID for now. It might come back. But we're still going to get to taste some ice cream. That's the important part, isn't it? And the other part of the tour we're going to get there is their graveyard of discarded flavors. So that sounds entertaining. We're going to have a dinner cruise on Lake Champlain, the Shelburne Museum, the Burlington Church Street Marketplace. We got Cold Hollow Cider Mill, Rock of Ages, which is a huge quarry, but it's got beautiful rock structures that are just fantastic to behold. We're going to visit Stowe Village. My favorite is we're going to go to Ticonderoga, New York for an afternoon, and we're going to visit the Star Trek Original Series set tour. And it is a complete recreation of Stage 9 at Desilu Studios in 1966 when Star Trek began. And so he's got the bridge, all the corridors, sick bay, briefing room, captain's quarters, everything you could want to see, and a whole lot more. The guy who owns it, James Cawley, there's actually a huge collection of original artifacts from the show. He's got a ton of costumes and props. So it'll be a good hour or two spent. You'll get a kick out of it. Even if you're not a Star Trek fan, you'll get a chance to get your picture sitting in the captain's chair on the bridge. And everybody will recognize right where you are. We should have fall colors somewhere along the tour. Can't guarantee it because Mother Nature gets the last vote, but we hope so. So one more bout of who's a good boy. Who's ready for some puppy dogs?
Yay!
I am. I didn't know which stick you threw, so I got them all. If that dog was a kid, he'd have straight A's. I tried to take pictures of my dog with a pumpkin. He does not like pumpkins. Actually, I've seen that look on your dog's face a few times, Barbara. Sunday mornings in October. You can almost barely find that dog. And the caption says, "Why does this dog look like a hungover chick in search of brunch and mimosas?" And I know a couple of you in here can relate to that. I'm not going to point any fingers. Carl.
Oh, man.
While all the other dogs in the park were playing around, he read a book with his human. That's really sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big dog again.
The humans are having people over for dinner, so I better be a good boy. Me to me, drag your butt on the carpet. That would be my dog. Finally, getting into October 16th, we're going to leave for fall foliage and go to Pigeon Forge. And that's going to have a tour of the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. With any luck, hopefully I'll make it home from my hike and you won't find me wandering around out there. We're going to visit Newfound Gap. If you don't know Newfound Gap, it's a beautiful open meadow, and it's on the Appalachian Trail, and it's also on a highway out there. And it's a kind of a crossroads. You'll see a lot of wildlife there. You'll see hikers there. Don't feed the hikers. They can be dangerous. They're worse than the bears. You might see a bear out there. We've seen a few black bears out there in the past. You might see some deer. You might see some elk. We're going to visit the Sugar Land Visitor Center. We got 2 nights at Georgia Drury Inns. We're going to go to Dollywood for a day. That's America's favorite family theme park. And a whole lot more on that one. And that one, I can almost guarantee you're going to get some good fall foliage somewhere on that trip. So time to look at what holidays are today. Today is Best Friends Day. Who's here with their best friend? Oh, Carl? Come on, Carl. Okay, anybody named Betty today? I got any Bettys in the room? Your cat? We'll count your cat. I didn't know this holiday. Today is Betty Picnic Day. It was started about 20 years ago by 2 women named Betty who decided to have a picnic, and they put up flyers around town advertising the Betty Picnic at the park. And so they got about 100 women named Betty showed up for their picnic. And it's kind of taken off over the years. So yes, June 8th is Betty Picnic Day. If you have friends named Betty, you can invite them to a picnic. Good one for me, it's Jelly-Filled Donut Day. That's pretty good. It is Name Your Poison Day. It is Thomas Paine Day, and it is Upsy Daisy Day. So when you trip or stumble, you say Upsy Daisy. That's the day. Don't do that, though. Be careful. Be graceful like I know you are. So upcoming trips we're working on. I was trying to have a Savannah ready for you. I couldn't get any calls back today, so I'll have that very soon. It'll probably be in late October. I think I'm going to put it on. We got a Fort Myers Christmas trip coming up. We got New Year's coming up. Those will be real soon. And we're working on a Nashville. And yeah, St. Augustine will be coming out real soon too. And
Back to Snook Haven.
Snook Haven. Yeah, Snook Haven's coming in October. It's on my planning calendar for October already. So anybody else have any questions before we get to the important business?
Just a quick one.
Yes, ma'am.
On these 2 days and more, there's 2 prices. Is that single or double?
Exactly. Yeah. When you look at the flyer, if you look at the trips that are more than 1 day, the 2 days and more trips, the first price is double. The lower price is the double. So that's per person if you have a roommate. And then the second price, the higher price, is if you go single. Some folks look at that and think we're taking advantage of people who are traveling single. We're not. The only difference in the price is nobody is splitting the cost of that hotel room with you. I pay the hotel the same whether there's 1, 2, or 3 of you in the hotel room. So if there's one of you, you're floating the entire hotel room by yourself, which in some cases, some people think that would be worth even more money, not to have somebody else in the hotel room snoring and putting on really awful TV shows all night.
No, they wouldn't like me because I get up too early.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice. I can't believe nobody said anything about the air conditioning.
You didn't tell them yet, did you? Oh,
No.
this is what Jerry wrote to me.
Good job, Terry. Honorable mention to Terry Stiff, who says he didn't have help this time.
Okay. She wrote that. She said she- I don't know what this is, but.
No.
And I didn't, okay, and then there's that one.
Okay. I got a clear, concise winner. And I will show you where our Where in the World was. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, first I'm going to tell you to be back here on July And remember to tip your servers. And Jay's not here. So here's your answer to Where in the World. This is at Ticonderoga, New York, the original series set tour. What I showed you is the engine room. Now, it looked different in the picture I showed you because big thing on Star Trek in the 60s, the sets were all painted mostly shades of gray and light green. But the lighting director was a magician, and he made the sets look amazing. So, is that picture not there? Oh, I messed it up. I thought I had the other picture. Anyway, that was the engine room I showed you. And our winner is Marina Spears. Have you won yet this year, Marina?
In January.
In January? Oh, no.
And so did Barbara, because she wrote, I can't.
And
win.
Barbara had the answer, and she can't win. So I guess it's a drawing.
I guess so.
All right. My sister beat all you guys. She got it right away. But I made her watch so much Star Trek when she was a kid.
Star Trek Enterprise is in the net.
No. Engine room. We need engine room. So we're going to do a drawing for this one. Yeah, I was such a rotten kid. Star Trek was on at 7 on WTOG, and I wanted cassette tapes of the audio for all 79 episodes. And we would be having dinner at 7. So I was such a tyrant. Nobody could speak, sneeze, or cough when I was recording Star Trek.
Wow.
Okay, we're going. That's an interesting answer. Where's Lynn Roberts? Lynn, you won. This was the Guggenheim, which is
That's in the right state.
it's kind of an interesting guess. It's not bad.
I had no idea.
So we got other stuff to give away. Let's see. Let's give away a T-shirt first. I have an Empire Builder T-shirt. It's got a train logo on it.
Why
Let's
didn't
see.
you give it to her? You drew her name.
Well,
She wins the 25.
Oh, she won the 25.
Love you. This is not your first meeting, woman.
It'll be my last.
Ed wins a T-shirt. Good. Ed needs a T-shirt. Good job, Ed. All right, next. Our own Buffy Doucette has voluntarily donated Chocour, rich dark chocolate, smooth and creamy European chocolate. Ooh. Ah. Thank you, Buffy. That goes to Sue McGow.
Oh,
Did I say that right? Sue?
Close enough.
How do we say that? McGough?
They must know I like chocolate.
Off with the
Who
chocolate.
doesn't like chocolate? And last but not least, I have Ghirardelli Squares, milk chocolate caramel. It looks like I've opened them and snitched with you. I didn't, I swear. I think it's just been sitting in my box for a little while. And let's give that to Barb Delgman. Where's Barb? There she is. Barb Delgman. Here you go, darling.
That's great.
Suddenly you have more fun. All right, guys, we'll be sticking around. Ollie will be here, and I will be here. If you have questions or you want to book a trip or pay for a trip, Ollie's got the sign-ups and receipt book in the back. I'll be here to answer any questions you have. And thank you so much for coming today. It's sticking out the heat.
Can we sign up online or do we have to call you?
Oh, good question. Can you sign up online? Our website is not that advanced. You can send me an email through the website or call, and we'll sign you up that way. And then credit cards, there is an additional fee.
I have another question.
Sure.
Like, if you want to go to one of these, single, double rooms, and I was only, is there a way you can ask if there's anybody else who's single and want to share?
Absolutely. The way we normally handle that, let's say you signed up to go to Vermont with me, and you would like a roommate, because that's a big jump in price. What we would do is sign you up and put wants roommate, and then the next person who expresses interest as a single, we'd say you're looking for a roommate. But then we're not, because there are cruise lines that do this. If you and that lady both told the cruise line you want a roommate, you'll just show up to the cruise and have a roommate, and not meet them till the day of the cruise.
So you both get along, but I imagine.
Yeah, we won't do that too.
Everybody that's willing.
Well, no, that can be a disaster. So the way we handle that is we ask you to talk to each other, or even better yet, go have lunch or coffee. And when both of you come back and say it's a good match, then we'll room you together. The early days of the company, we did that once, and one of them wound up flying home halfway through the trip. She couldn't take it no more.
If you come to enough of these things, you might get to know each other.
Yeah, that helps.
And you would
I signed up for the FST room and I paid the money today to Wendy, so then you said that it's.
It's iffy. If anybody else signed up, then
So
you may be.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
That's me.
I'm gonna probably make the call before I go home today. Not call you necessarily, but make the decision. And then I would make those calls tomorrow. So yeah, if a few people signed up today, we'll be gone. If not, we won't. The other thing that could torpedo it is there are some people signed up who haven't paid yet. It happens sometimes when I call them and say, hey, the trip's going.
I want to go to the Eagles thing. I would really like to
Oh,
go
I
to,
can't go now.
which one was
So
the other one?
sometimes, you know,
The Eagles.
it's tricky.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, if we cancel it, and we'll just send you a
I
check.
want to take one trip a month, so I will see what else.
Actually, your
would
check will
really
go
like
to the
to go.
bank quick enough
Yeah,
anyway.
that would be good.
So we
I
can
don't
just
care if
tear
we
it up
go
or send it to you.
Rusty might be interested in that.
Prior to that.
We watched the
And that's
Eagles
what
on
we normally
Saturday.
do. If your check has
And
been
he said
processed,
something from
we
like,
either
I could drop
refund
you
you
off at the door.
or I keep that
I've seen
credit
that.
card
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
talking
thinking
about.
about walking part of the,
Computer.
Yeah, right.
You can use it for anything.
like I
Okay.
wouldn't do
Sounds good to
Vermont.
me.
I've
I
already
think,
been to Vermont.
I'm still
been
looking
to
for a
some
place for the Vermont
I'd
trip,
like to
so
go to
I'm
some of
gonna
the
try to.
luncheons.
Are you on,
Yeah,
are you on the list already?
Yeah.
Guys looking? Okay.
Well, I'm not as looking, I'm asking my
Might share
friend,
that.
I'm trying to find somebody who wants to go to Vermont.
So
We
I'm
had
able
somebody,
to
do you
write on my
want
paper.
them?
I didn't put that down, but I just heard you explain that to the lady. I don't know if I'll make that decision right now. I want to wait and see if I can find somebody that I know
Okay.
that
Yeah, that's always
that
a
will
little
go
more
with me, you know.
So it's a good
Especially
question.
one that's over a week like that. If it's 2-3 days, I can put up with my ex-wife for 3 days.
Maybe.
Well, maybe you could trade her or something.
I like these
All right,
Georgia,
thanks so much.
The what?
the Georgia ones. Yeah, several questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down if you don't.
I'm gonna grab another.
I didn't see them on the Woodland or Rush to it all this time.
The new ones are in the back by Holland, so. Sure.
If we went to that July 4th thing,
Yeah.
you gotta make your way on your own parking at the marina.
So we'll pick you up either here or at the Seminole Beach Depot.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, especially with the parking down there. you can have a bear.
Oh, yeah.
You can take you right to the dock. You don't have to walk so far at all.
Like forever.
Yeah, everything we do is going on a bus. The only exception is sometimes like I'll have a restaurant. Somebody lives closer to the restaurant and they do the pickups, so they want to meet us there.
Yeah. So the bus sort of, so, say the fireworks thing. And that's the pickup, there's a site next to
The pickups are always here in Tyrone or at the Seminole on Beach. Oh, yeah. We take your reservation, you ask which pickup you want. And then, if it's been published, we give you the departure time.
Okay, I'm not worried about signing up to be a member. I don't think it's necessary.
And if you're smart on the computer, it's really not needed. My prediction is in the next 3 to 5 years, I'll probably be married. God will love. And just deal with everything online. By then, I'll have online reservations.
So like if you sign up for the play thing, and close to the date, you decide you can't go, you're gonna be out of town, what happens, you're out because of the ticket price.
Yeah. Once I buy those tickets from the theater, they are gone.
We could just give them to somebody.
Oh, yeah. That has happened. You would have one very lucky friend.
Yeah.
And is it that way on everything, or some
No.
things you can get,
Yeah, we try to be flexible on the ones we can, like, say this weekend is the shopping and St. Armand's. There's no ticket, it's just the bus. So as long as you give us about 48 hours notice, we can refund or credit it. Yeah, when there's a vendor involved and I've got to deal with their refund policy,
So you said the Publix one was canceled,
Yes,
and the other one was?
the tea rooms are teetering.
Right.
Yeah, Brighton.
Tea room in Tampa?
Yes, yeah, that is, if a few more people want to go on that, then it may go.
Well, we were just thinking, talking about that.
Well, you can sign up with Ollie, because 2 or 3 more, and I'd have enough to do.
He said 2 or 3 more.
And the nice thing is,
Oh, really? Yeah, June, check your calendars. It's the Floridian. They've got the 28th.
Thank you, that was very informative.
Thank you.
Glad I came.
you won
Now I just
something,
have
or you won the 25 bucks off, didn't you?
And I had that.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
That won't go real far, but it'll take some of the
I
sting
don't
out.
know if you know Nina.
Nice seeing you too.
Oh, Nynette, that's been a long time.
She's
I got a couple
moved.
Nynettes.
I'll go back here with her. Check my calendar while I'm at it. Pretty sure I just have
She always has
Zoom
that.
pretty allergies. Regular.
It'll be a nice trip.
Go check with her and see if
Yeah, I can put it right there. I just have Ollie put it on her notes, and I'll take care of it.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Good work.
I got one from Joy and one from Nancy.
I was saying, it's the Guggenheim, like I say, they just look real modern. I couldn't think where else.
It didn't occur to me, but I could see it when she said it.
Right, we've been trying to see that. I got it. Went over our budget.
Yeah, debit cards, the bank charges us the same on debit as credit. So for day trips, it's $2 extra. For the multi-day trips, it will be 4%. Per ticket, not per transaction.
We're excited.
We like that.
That's
I
good.
got folders information for 2 more of our friends that couldn't come today. I got a question about the restaurant. Do you have to do the buffet or can you order just a meal?
Oh, yeah, they'll do a packed up meal for you. They've got like a hibachi thing in back too.
Yes, I looked at their menu and they've got where you can order individual things.
Yeah, I get some folks who come in and have the buffet and then you get dinner and go home.
We're gonna sign up for that June 16th.
Yeah, we're gonna try the Floridian.
Oh, no, you're not.
Nope.
That's on a wait list.
That,
Oh, okay.
okay, that's what I thought, but I thought you said there were 3 more or something. So not that one. What
Yeah,
else we got?
you can put your name on the list, and if I get cancellations, I go down the wait list. Yeah. That one surprised me, especially for kind of a summertime lunch bunch. I don't usually fill up the place.
All the kind of things I'm interested in.
Yes.
You almost ran yourself out of ink there. We can fix that.
And I love how somebody who can't do anything because of his health, so go with my friends.
I've been to Vermont a lot of times, but I would like to go see the Ticonderoga's pencil. I love it.
I've never been there.
I've used a lot of those. I have a
They were the
thing,
best ones.
I've got a thing with my pencils in the office. I won't throw a pencil into the recycling until it's literally like this long. So people think I need, well, I have a candy jar. So when my pencils are retired, they go in the candy jar.
Okay. But no, their pencils were the
But people
best.
feel sorry for me because they think I can't afford a pencil. It's just a weird thing.
You just think it's hard to hold. Then you have that rubber
Oh, yeah.
thing like the kids had in school.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It does get kind of tricky towards the end.
The Publix ones that were.
There's just first two.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. Sounds like they're also. And you might be worried. High tea. Jack. Marina Jack.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
That's a buffet.
Saturday.